What is going on, guys? Today we're going to be looking at second in form Mahrez, and as you can tell, we have got a whole load of the team of the weeks coming over the next week. I'm going to start and try and get more of a kind of scheduled plan with the team of the weeks. I feel like we're kind of slipping on the newer cards, that for many reasons, but we're back with a big bang. Team of the week's going to be in full flow. Personally, what I'm going to try and do is one a day. So we'll start on Wednesday. Depending on how well I do on Wednesday will depend on, obviously, if I get one up on that night, and then we'll do one a day, or at least one of the new team of the weeks until the next Wednesday. So there'll be plenty to go, and as you can see in the team today, we have got a few new faces. We've got Aspas, we've got Canales, we've got Bergwijn, if I said that right, and obviously we do have Mahrez and also Walker as well. He's a new one that I'm trying out. Obviously I've tried to get everyone on as much chem as possible. I believe everybody is on 10, I think. Obviously the nice Man City link on the right. We've also got the two icons kind of putting that Dutch left wing in his place. We then have Aspas with the links of De Jong, linking to Canales, and also linking down below to Ramos and Piqué. I think De Jong's the only one off chem, but to be honest, De Jong this week, or in fact this FIFA, has been absolutely fantastic, so I can't argue with that. Also, Black Friday Super Sunday is coming out. Obviously, I'm recording this as that has gone live, so something's going to be coming massive for that. I'll be covering it from 2 p.m. tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. So anyway, Mahrez, second in form. This is his fifth special card of the season. In fact, fourth, because I don't count the UCL cards anymore. They're exactly the same. There's literally no point in them. If it had a one upgrade, I'd be more happy. But obviously he did get himself a first in form, which we actually did cover. He then got himself a cheeky road to the final card, which actually is quite nice. That's standing at 273k on the Xbox, that is. And to be honest, they are looking to go through pretty easily, at least to the group stages. And I can see themselves going quite far, to be honest. I can't see them getting knocked out very early on. So I can imagine that Mahrez is going to have some nice upgrades. Obviously, this Mahrez is 125k on the Xbox and 138 on the PlayStation. I bought him last night at around about 130. He then kind of took off a little bit, went up for 145, so I made my profit back off him, and then he dipped down to 110, I think it was, during rewards, and then obviously he's slowly kind of risen and stayed pretty stable at this one until we see what happens tomorrow, because these are going to be mad packed. If the lightning rounds are anything to go by from last week, these cards are going to be insanely cheap. So definitely keep your eye on their prices, keep your eye on their investments. I feel like Mahrez is going to be the one that actually would be a really nice pickup. He's got some very, very nice stats on this second in form. He's got 87 pace, 91 dribbling, 83 passing, and as well as 83 shooting as well. Some decent stats for this right wing card. Obviously, he is overshadowed in the Man City team by Sterling, and personally, Sterling in this game still probably has that little bit of an edge. Obviously, he is one more rated higher in just his normal gold version, but I think the main thing will come when Sterling starts getting any special cards, informs, what have you. That's when realistically this card will probably just go out of anyone's pocket. Obviously, he can't link with pretty much most other leagues, mainly because Algeria just doesn't have as many players in it as possible to link him. Benzema, hopefully, could be a new change. I feel like he's trying to, I know he's trying to change his, citizenship or countryship, whatever you want to call it. So he plays for Algeria instead. Obviously, having parents from Algeria, that'll be a very, very nice link for Mahrez right there. Especially if Benzema does manage to get a team of the season after this has happened. That could be a really nice card right there. So Mahrez is a 5-star skiller. That's always fantastic. He's got a 4-star weak foot, which is always perfect. He is left-footed, so very much like Bale in that sense on the right wing, cuts in on his left. Very, very nice like that. And to be honest, he does score quite a lot of little skill run down the wings, cuts in and kind of gives him enough space to finesse around a keeper. I feel like there is a couple in the recording, and he plays well for me. I personally do like him. Do I think he's probably the best or top 3 right mids in the Prem, or at least in the game? Probably not. He's a fun card to play with. Personally, Sterling for me is still better, mainly because of the pace aspect. I think Sterling just is absolutely rapid in this game. Obviously, having Sterling from the very start in an untradeable pack, I very much do prefer having Sterling in the team, or at least as a super sub, over Mahrez. But that being said, Sterling is one of them players that will eventually lose value. Mahrez's informs are very much going to stay quite alive after the Lightning rounds, when people have probably packed them and done all sorts. He's then going to probably stabilise at a certain price, and then you can go pick him up and not really worry too much about losing many coins off him. He's got a medium work rate, so again, to be honest, Custom Tactics sorts that out properly. 90 acceleration with 84 sprint speed, that for me is good enough. You obviously could use a Hawk to get that up that little bit more. Would it be worth it? Possibly. I wouldn't say it's drastically needed, because I think 87 at the very least is a decent amount. Obviously, you don't want to go too overkill with maybe like a Hunter. I just don't feel like that is completely necessary. It does get him up a little bit. It turns him into an 89 right wing. Would give him 96 pace, 88 shooting. But I think for me, I would be quite happy with just a basics, if that. Shooting wise, it's obviously going to be 83. It's got 81 finishing, 84 positioning, and 84 shot power. And the one thing with this is, I think right mids this year have been not downgraded, but kind of put on a level where their shooting necessarily isn't fantastic. Like, you look at Sterling's like 78 or something like that shooting, he's obviously got better than that. And if you compare him to some strikers nowadays, he's actually a better finisher than some of them. So for me, I think having 83 shooting is always quite good on a right mid and a left mid, as I believe, like I say, I feel like they have been kind of diluted a little bit and made more on their dribbling and pace more than actually having any sort of shooting. Passing wise, he's got 81 short pass, 78 long pass, which again, a little bit lower, but you could sort that out with a chem style, 85 vision, 85 crossing, and 88 curve. So again, a very nice high-ended stat right there. Obviously, you've got the Deadeye that could potentially figure that out if you really didn't want to go for a Hunter or any sort of pace element. A Deadeye would turn him up to a 91 rated right wing and a 91 rated centre forward. He'd have 93 shooting and 89 passing. That's actually a really nice card right there. As personally, the dribbling wise, being the highest stat, I think is completely fine to be left alone. He's got 94 agility, 88 balance, 78 reactions, which again isn't fantastic, but it's one stat out of a bunch of 6. He's then got 92 ball control and dribbling and 85 composure. So for me, I personally wouldn't fix that in the slightest. I think it's perfect. I feel like it's good enough. Dribbling wise, I felt like that was his main attribute to the field, and main kind of positive that he gives to the team is actually really nice on the ball. Very close control, very good at turning and running at players. Obviously with the 5-star skills as well, if you link them all together, you've got a dangerous player walking through right there. Apart from obviously having 87 pace rather than the 90 plus, I still think he was quick enough to get around a lot of defenders. 57 strength, 81 stamina, 64 jumping. Overall, I would be looking at a Deadeye, if anything. Sniping wise would turn him up to a 91 right wing as well, but you do lose out on that passing. He does get a lot of the stats to 99, and it does sort the reactions out to 83 and the composure up to a 90, so you weigh up your options with it. It all depends on what you want. If Mahrez is going to be that skiller for you, I feel like the sniper would work better for you. But I think personally, if you're going to use him as a right wing, and I'm starting to hear that heading is actually becoming that little bit more meta. No, actually, I choose that word wrong. It's becoming better. It's becoming a little bit of a usable tactic. So that could be something very interesting going into the next few reviews. After looking at obviously the old reviews, heading was never a thing. So personally, it's never something that I really took into consideration. I always said that they could possibly do it if it became a thing, but obviously we never took it as a massive positive compared to last year, mainly because heading was just virtually impossible unless you got that very, very lucky one chance out of 20 where you've managed to kind of score past the open net. But if heading does become a thing, the Deadeye is definitely going to be becoming more stronger option, or a better option for you for chem stars, purely for the fact that that would turn his passing into a very, very nice overall. Looking at him, Pepe, I think he's better than him. Sterling, like I say, I don't think is. 125k is a very nice price for him. I think 7 out of 10 for value for coins. If he drops below 90, I think that's a 10 out of 10. I think you've got to pick this card up. If he does drop below 90 after lightning rounds, or at least during lightning rounds, that is going to be a very nice card overall to get. 8 out of 10 for FUT Champs. I feel like he could get in people's teams. There is Ousmane Dembele, who personally has become a god saviour of my team, and I feel like he, for an 84 rated card, is a quality investment into anyone's team. Very, very good in general. But Mahrez could be the step up for people. You never know. It depends on what you like. Dembele is more that agile, quick midfielder who relatively can't shoot. Mahrez is that little bit slower, not too much, but can shoot. It all depends on what you want in your right wings. And overall, I'm giving him an 8 out of 10. I've given him a 0.5 upgrade from his 86, as I do think this card is that slightly bit better, which I hope for anyway. Sometimes they can be worse. But in this, for instance, I do think he's that little bit better, and I cannot wait to see him get a 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th inform card or special card going down the line. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe for more content. We're going to be smashing it. Wait for Black Friday tomorrow, and we'll see what comes out. And peace.